yeah, they came back and they said that's top 5% of practicals we've ever done. And you say, you've only been training 3 months at a gym and you did an internship? I said, yeah, that's it. He said, that must have been one hell of an internship.
All right, and we got Mr. Joseph from Northern California, now a trainer, a DPT trainer at Lifetime. That's right. And he has a really cool story. So why don't you tell everyone how you came across Show Up and your journey to where you're at now? Really, really cool and excited to have you here. So thank you for your time today.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for having me. So yeah, like a lot of people, I found you guys trying to pass NASM. So I started this whole journey last, last July, and I bought the whole NASM bundle and started reading through the book and going through the process, and started searching YouTube, things like that, videos like how to pass NASM quickly, and that's how I found you guys.
You came across the belt buckle, and you're probably like, "What is this guy like? He's a weirdo."
I was like, who's this guy, man? Holy shit. But then, yeah, once you get into it, it's like, okay, yeah, this is what's up.
There's something about you, Joe, that you're smarter than the average person, because you actually listened to my advice when you got a refund. And so you saved a boatload of money.
Oh yeah, I bought like a $2,250 package, and yeah, so I got like a $1,600 refund or something. Yeah, instantly when you said get a refund, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah.
And then you went to our Oakland seminar, got to learn a little hands-on, got introduced to the CCA, and you took your Up Fitness CPT, which really leveled you up with your confidence. And then you had a really unique conversation when you came back to LA and you did our seminar, and you met with Luke Worthington, Tony Gentlecolor. And that's when we talked. Well, first off, you brought me a nice bottle of whiskey, so thank you. But you had an opportunity to work at a gym, and they kind of pushed you away, right? So tell us about what happened there and how we came back and got you a job.
Yeah, so I went in and just kind of cold ambushed the fitness director of one of these local gyms. There's two, I guess you would call them kind of high-end gyms where I'm at. It's Villa and then Lifetime. They're kind of competitors. So that's the only two places I wanted to go. Those are the best ones here. So I went into Villa cold with a resume, and I had them bring down the fitness director. We had a really good meeting. It lasted like an hour. I could tell he liked me. He wanted to hire me. But at that time, I had no training experience at all. And like I said, we had a really good meeting, and I walked away from there feeling like I left the job on the table, because I thought if I would have pushed a little harder, maybe. And so, yeah, when I came down to LA, I talked to you about it and said, man, I think I fucked up. I think I could have had that job if I would have been a little more aggressive right there. Cause, he just said, yeah, lack of experience. Like, I don't know. I don't want to know if I want to take the chance on you. So
I love this, because you're going to hear what happens next. And I've been in the industry 20 plus years. I know managers, whether if you're a NASM, NSCA. I was just on a call with someone earlier who's going to get hired at Equinox, and we went through LinkedIn to look at who's hiring you, and it was a CSCS based person. You got to speak that language. So statistically speaking, I wrote about this in my book, that 90% of textbook trainers quit within the first year. 90%. So put yourself, take off that all the ego that you have, and put yourself in that manager's shoes. So if they have 10 people, they know that 9 of them are not going to be around, probably even closer to 6 months. So why would the manager want to hire a green trainer? No experience. He doesn't have the confidence. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not familiar with Show Up Fitness, not familiar with learning anatomy, shoulder, hips, movement patterns, and being able to think and program on the fly. So when I just got off a call with a guy from Equinox who got hired in Austin, and the manager asked him, design a program for me right now. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. Boom, 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 CCA. And the guy's like, holy shit, like that's really impressive. He's like, how would you regress it for a pregnant lady? He's like, oh, just do this. He's like, what the heck? Like most trainers, I got my NASM, I got my ACE, I got my ISSA. They're like, hold on, let me get a stability ball. Give me 15 minutes to design a program. Like, no, that's not how it works. And so we wrote to your manager like, hey, let's give this a shot. And so tell them what happened.
Well, yeah. So I came in and I told you I was kind of down on myself. Like, I think I just like missed that opportunity because I wasn't aggressive enough. And he said, hey, I'll tell you what I would do. If you like it, cool. If you don't. I'd send him an email and I would say, hey, let me come back in. I want to take you through a workout. If you don't like it, I'll pay you whatever your rate is as a trainer for that hour. Worst case scenario, I get some experience and you make $100 or whatever it is. How's that sound? And when you told me that, I'm like, I don't know, man, that seems it just seems like not me really. You know what I mean? But I went back to the hotel. And I sent him that email instantly. I didn't hear from him for about 3 days. And then when I got the email back, his first thing was, how could I resist such an offer? And he had me come in and run him through the workout. And then he hired me on the spot after I ran him through the workout. So
you got hired, and at that spot, did they ask to take a photo of your certification?
So that spot actually did, as I was going through the onboarding process. He did have to, I sent him a copy of my NASM certification. So they did.
And so how it works as well is, I would be curious to see how you presented at the time. Like, did you say, let me get my certification, or did they say, we can't hire you until we get that?
We were 9/10 of the way through the process. I was already hired. We were just waiting for background check and all that stuff to go through. And he emailed me like, holy cow, dude, I completely forgot. I never got your certification, and like home office needs it. So
that's what I love, because it's so fascinating to me. Gold's Gym does that. Crunch does that. It's the smaller gyms that, I don't know if it's not a legality thing. I own gyms. I know for a fact you do not need a accredited certification. We're going through the NCCA accreditation process right now. And all it is a $20,000 application fee. And it takes you 18 months to 2 years to go through it. And then you can send these people their accredited certification.
Oh, game over once you guys are accredited. It's game over. Like, you take over.
And that's what we're going towards. But to that time comes, you may need to get an easy certification. Now, let's be honest, was NASM hard to take?
No, God, I built it up like it was like, when I came to the seminar in Oakland, everybody was telling me, just go take it. Just go take it. And I'm like, fine, I did. As soon as I got home, I scheduled it. No, it was not hard at all. Just follow the handbook. Just follow the NASM handbook, and you'll pass it. And at that time,
you mean?
What's that?
Our study guide to get you to pass.
Yes, guide. Sorry, not NASM. Follow the show up study guide. You'll pass it in 2 weeks. Like, it's super easy.
People will reach out to me, and I'm not making fun of them, but they'll say like, "Oh, this is the hardest exam I've ever had, and it's so difficult." I'm like, oh man. And I really feel for that trainer who would then try to get hired at one of these gyms, because they don't know how to train. They have no idea. And so right now you went through another nice little transition. The first couple of days, how are the sales at your first job?
At the first job, right off the bat, I sold somebody a $3,400 36 pack within the first hour that I was on the floor. And so, I mean, it just shot off like a rocket. Within 6 weeks, I was second in session service out of all the trainers at that gym within 6 weeks.
And I remember we were chatting because you went to our mentorship for the level 2, and then you wanted to continue your education. You wanted to check out the PPSC. And I said, typically what I'll suggest for those, if John's teaching it, great. If he's not, I know some of the other instructors, not like personally, so I can't vouch for them. I know Clifton has a good rep, and also some of the other ones.
She was pretty, I don't have anything bad to say about her. She was great. The instructor, her name was Ginny, spelled with a G. I don't know what her last name is, but.
And you went there, and tell us about that experience.
Well, I mean, two sides of it. Well, one, it just kind of wasn't, I thought I was going to learn, and I guess maybe I should have dug a little bit deeper. I don't know, but to really learn how to train people with pain, train around pain, train through, to help people, to train to fix pain. And it was more just basically how to safely train people to not create pain, which I don't know. So, I mean, it ended up being a 2-day 16-hour seminar about basically how to warm people up. So it wasn't quite what I was expecting, but it was good. I did learn a lot. I mean, it was good. And then
one of the things that you found when you were at that seminar is that it's hands-on, and these are trainers that have been there for years.
Yes.
And a lot of times, a lot of seminars will say it's like, you guys that show up to the seminars, you're part of the 3 to 5%. You are elite. Yep. And what was it's like, you're not pointing to people and saying, oh, you're terrible, but what was your overall perception of the trainers that were at this seminar?
That I felt like I knew more than them and was a better trainer than them. I mean, to be quite honest, and I'd only been doing it for 2.5 months at the time.
And then you met someone from Lifetime?
And then there was a lady there that is a trainer at another.
I got to interrupt you, because I remember you told me a story about they were going over the 17 muscles of the shoulders, and you kind of rolled your eyes, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no, the instructor just said there's 17 muscles of the shoulder, and people acted like surprised, like, holy shit, 17, like, whoa. And I'm like, wow, dang, that's like, whoa.
Common sense when you're a qualified trainer.
Show up, it's common sense. Yeah. So that was kind of funny, but yeah. So I just started talking to one of the other people that were in the class. There's town Folsom, and then there's Roseville, and there's a Lifetime in each. So this was at the Folsom location. She is a trainer at the Roseville location, which is where I'm at now. So I started just talking to her, exchanged numbers, and then the next day, the fitness manager from the Roseville location called me up.
And we went back and forth a few times. Should I go? Should you not? I think you made the right decision. Your potential is significantly higher, because when you can proposition someone a $150 to $170 session, it helps build your confidence. And so they picked you up there. It's a little different than the prior spot, but recently, I think, well, you had a couple of cool stories there. One, someone was like, "Hey, you talked about show up or something like that. How did it happen?" And someone was,
"Oh yeah." Well, how it happened was I hadn't really said anything about show up, but we did at one of like the weekly team meetings. It was like the second day I was there. They had me come up and introduce myself, and I'd already met all the trainers, but just officially introduce myself to everyone. Just tell about my journey, things like that. And I just basically gave the same spiel that I gave here. This is a new career change for me, and I really learned a lot through Show Up Fitness. I learned a lot through an internship that I did. It's a company called Show Up Fitness. And I just kind of told them a little bit about you guys. And then after that meeting, a guy, one of the other trainers, pulled me over. He's like, "Hey, come here." He's like, "Ask me how I passed NASM in 3 weeks." And I said, "No shit, show up." He's like, "Yeah, dude, show up 100%. Everything I do is CCA, blah, blah." And so instantly he was like, "I know that you know what's up. I know you're good." Like, so it was like an instant connection with him. And he's doing well. He's killing it there. So, and he's only been there, I think, 4 months.
And you can easily make 100,000+ at one of these gyms. It's really about your mindset, one, how you go in. And that's one of the things we talked about is you can absolutely crush it, but just have realistic expectations. Don't go in there thinking that you're going to, train from 8 to 10, get a 3-hour break, a lunch break, and it's going to be all, fine and dandy. It's, it takes grinding and grit. And if you go in with that mindset, I know for a fact you're going to absolutely crush it, and you're going to get there. And it's going to be really neat to have another call a year from now to see, how you've progressed, because there's so much opportunity there. But again, another really cool thing is to see that you didn't do the 2-month internship. You live up in Sacramento, so you were able to do a lot online. You do the seminars. There's lots of ways that you can be involved, learning from other instructors like, Megan or Katie and Josh and Travis. But, we're here to help you go through the process. One other little thing was, did they ask for your physical certification at Lifetime?
Nope, they did not.
So if you're a new trainer and you go into a place and you go, I just recently got certified from this company called NASM from Show Up Fitness. Not sure if you heard of them. You're not that confident. You've been around the block now. You've had the affirmations from other people saying like, "Yo, you're legit." So you go in there and you're like, "I'm a trainer." And in your mind, you're thinking, "I want to go in here and show myself to be one of the top trainers." And that confidence really exudes itself. So they're not going to follow up on that. And so then you get hired, and then you got another really cool story with one of the GMs recently.
Just today, I was standing around. So the way it works there, they give you 40 hours a week, regardless if you're training or not. So as a newbie, you can imagine it's a lot of downtime. Like, holy, 4 to 8 hours a day, and I don't have any clients yet. I have 2 clients, so it's a lot of downtime. And I was standing there, and he usually trains with one of the top trainers there. And she's out of town, so he came up, and I happened to be standing next to another trainer who is the top trainer there, who's about to get promoted out. He said, "What are you doing for 30 minutes? I got 30 minutes before a meeting. I need to get a quick workout. I'm looking for somebody to kick my ass." And he said, "Rob, I can't do it, man. I got a client coming in," and I was standing right there. "So I'll do it. I'll take you through a workout." And so on the spot, didn't have any plans to take anybody through a workout, nothing. And now here's the GM standing in front of me. Go. And I said, you warmed up yet? Because I was thinking, I'm going to get him on the treadmill for 5 minutes. "Oh, I'm warmed up. Let's go." So I had to walk, and in 30 seconds in my head, come up with a game plan for him. And so, yeah, CCA, obviously. I didn't even have to think about it. This was the easiest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it.
And then what do you say to you afterwards?
I think he said, "Hey, that was really good. And until your schedule gets filled up, I think I'm going to come find you some more." Mm-hmm. So he liked it. Yep.
And then I'm not just doing this to pat ourselves in the back, but didn't you talk to someone and they say, like, "You've been a trainer for how long?" What about that internship?
That's the fitness manager. That's my boss that hired me. Yeah. So when he was trying to get me hired, after running him through a practical workout, him and another one of the trainers as part of the interview process, yeah, they came back and they said, "That's top 5% of practicals we've ever done." And you say, "You've only been training 3 months at a gym and you did an internship?" I said, "Yeah, that's it." He said, "That must have been one hell of an internship."
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what we're striving for. In my experience, I own gyms and I've been doing this for a while, and I've never been in a gym and someone's prideful saying, "Oh, that's a NASM trainer," like, "Oh, that's an ACE trainer," like, "Oh, that guy's bad." No, it's like people get their textbook cert, they throw it behind them, they go out there and they do what they think is the right way. And I'm not saying our way is the right way. You're a smart guy, you know how to train, but what we're doing is we're giving you the tools to be confident in that environment. So if you needed to adjust your CCA to a CA, so your core accessory, or your core accessory, or even a core, you have the critical thinking skills to do that.
I do it all the time. Yeah, all the time. Every time I train, it's to be honest, like to be able to run through an entire workout perfectly, CCA, like it rarely happens. There's so many people, things are happening. All those classes with learning how to program on the fly with Dean and Megan, great, like that help me do that. And I structure them differently sometimes. Sometimes I'll start with a single compound strength movement. Like today I ran the GM out there. Let's start with bench press. Boom, we ran through bench, and then we hit a CCA, and then we hit a CC. And that's it. So I mean, but it gives you the framework, and it just takes all the guesswork out of it. It takes having to think. I mean, it really just takes having to think out of the equation. Now you just know I need to hit these movement patterns. Here we go. Let's go.
And there's so much more to it than just the average trainer who may be listening and they're thinking, well, you want to think when you program. No, I would challenge that and say that, yeah, if you're working with elite athletes, sure. But if you understand the fundamentals, the mechanisms of hypertrophy, so mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and damage, and you realize that we're not just running people and trying to annihilate them. There is strategic thought. There is critical thought behind what you're doing.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to dumb it down. So, but you know, it in a situation like that where I don't have time to think, literally, there you go. I mean,
so, I always like to ask this question at the end, and this is not me, or overall, when you have to compare something like NASM versus Show Up Fitness CPT.
That Show Up head and shoulders. NASM's a worthless. I mean, it's nothing. You learn a lot of cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's cool. You learn stuff, but nothing that you can like really put into application. Really. I mean,
right now from NASM with your clients.
What's that?
Is there anything you're doing right now from NASM on your clients?
No.
So we'll check in with you 6 months from now, and we'll see where you're at. That's going to be almost getting to the new year. So be prepared for these next couple months coming up, because the average trainer can get kind of lost in the summer months, and before you know it, you're losing your book of business. Now for you, you're new, so that's great because you're given that opportunity to be proactive, to be innovative, to get out there, take as many classes as you can, meet all the trainers, and go up to the top trainers. But hey, man, here's $50. Will you take me through a workout? Just to give them the props. It's like, you've been here for a while. You're the top dog. I'm not trying to step on your toes. I want to learn some cool stuff. Maybe they give you a couple clients, because as a newer trainer, you come in and you're a hot shot. People will start kind of talking shit behind you. And that's I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
no, it does.
That in the dog eat dog world, when you come in and you're sharp, you're going to be, there's a big bullseye on your back. But I'm confident in your skills, and I know you're going to kick ass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, by the way, I appreciate it.